Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back again doing the freestyle horoscopes for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Leo. And the update really is that these readings aren't meant to take the place of my regular mid-month or general readings. They're just something that I really wanted to do at this time. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing them again. I just wanted to do a new series because I felt like there was a lot of messages that wanted to come through that weren't coming through via my regular deck. So I was like, okay, I just want to try something different and see how it goes. So I am using the Enchanted Map deck, which I don't normally use, by Colin Baron Reed. And I'm using my other decks as well, which I will be, just pulling as I kind of feel the calling to do so. And I have been attempting to make these videos really short, but they've gone on probably about 30-35 minutes each. So I just feel like maybe there's just a lot of messages that need to come through at this time. Now, I'm also kind of being open to time frames. So you may be watching this mid-May, you may be watching this in June, or you may be watching this sometime later down the road. These messages are still going to be applicable to when you are watching these videos. Okay, there's something in the messages that's going to come through that's going to hit home for you when you're watching it. Message me, let me know what you think in the comments below, if you feel like this is relevant for you, and if you like this freestyle type reading that I'm doing. So I'm just going to let it spread here. Interesting. Pretty much the entire spread came up in reverse. I'm not sure why. It's possible that when I shuffled, everything got construed differently, but I'm just gonna kind of go with it, Leo. Again, this is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in Leo, and I'm just gonna kind of pick a couple of cards here. The thing that's crowning you is you have the home card in reverse. Normally, this is like one of my favorite cards. This is a really great card to get. You could see it's kind of like a home that is a doorway here. And there's moss and ivy, and it's kind of like a magical home, someplace where you've really settled in and taken root somewhere. Let me see what it says for reverse. It says, if you don't feel at home, it's time to do a thorough and fearless inventory. What are you hiding from? Are you afraid of being yourself? Do you feel that you don't belong where you are? What if you choose another path? Does your understanding of home perhaps dictate that such a place must be unsafe, unstable, or unfulfilling? It's time to love yourself and create a new sense of safety and security within. You might have to choose a situation that is familiar and led you back to the original source of your pain. I don't know. It says you might have chosen a situation that is familiar and led you back to the original source of your pain. There we go. It says no matter, because this is an important and powerful invitation to a new you. Say no to the pain of the past. Say no to the voice of your inner critic. No to those who want to dim your light to make themselves brighter. Choose a new home. Take refuge in knowing that a beauty and a true sense of belonging lie ahead. To me, it's just really a clear statement about kind of needing to kind of uproot yourself from the status quo and move into something else. There is another card that's in my Galactic Heritage card deck. Let me see if I can find it really quick, which I'm going to read. Hang on just a second. Now, the Galactic Heritage card deck is by Lissa Royal Holt. This is the deck that I'm pulling from here. Okay, so this is what I was thinking. See, because, and for those of you who don't believe in life outside of Earth, then this is not for you. Okay, you might want to stop this here or skip ahead. Fast forward. But this is, to me, about life on the planet Andromeda. Okay, it says in physical reality, change is the only constant. It says we spend so much time and energy trying to keep things the same that we miss the profound experience that change brings. Andromedans live in a very unusual reality paradigm, that of constant change. The change is so dramatic that the only way to orient yourself in reality is to have a strong inner compass based on consciousness. You have pulled this card because either you have a strong connection with Andromedans, you love change, or you need to connect with Andromedan energy and let go of the fear of change. This is your next lesson. It says, it may seem odd that the energy of a galaxy outside of ours is being utilized in this deck. The reason for this is that you can see yourself more clearly when there is a contrasting idea that can serve as a comparison. The energy of the Andromeda galaxy provides this contrast to help us see ourselves more clearly. Within the template for experience in our reality lies the issue of polarity. This is a primary theme we must explore on our way back to wholeness. In addition, we have a tendency to like things to stay the same so that we can feel safe and secure. This part of our nature is based on ego need, and until we transcend that need, we will always stay stuck. Living in an Andromedan reality requires us to create an anchor to reality in our own consciousness rather than in the outside world. This is an important concept that actually has to do with how humans will eventually master space travel. It is also profoundly connected to spiritual awakening. Thus, Andromedans act as masters and guides for our evolution, teaching us to move from polarity and the fear of change to integration and embracing the changing nature of reality. If this card appears in your spread, look closely at your relationship to change. Are you addicted to it, or do you fear it? Perhaps it is time to forge a new relationship with one of the only constants of life, change. Okay, so continuing on with that theme, the following card, the message following that is about confusion. Okay, so what happens when change happens? Confusion follows. So it says, we often feel safe and secure when things stay the same. When things change, we feel a profound sense of disorientation or confusion until we can realign ourselves in the new reality and build a map for navigating it. To help this process, try to see that often the same messages or life lessons are being given to you in different packages. Find the continuity in these different messages and you will ease the confusion. Confusion is only the fear that you don't have a map for the reality in which you find yourself. The Andromedans are masters of change and rising above confusion. Let their energy guide you. It's almost just, to me it's about discovery. Sorry, I'm looking at it again to see if there's anything else that wants to come through. And I feel like it's about discovery. To me, it's about self-discovery, understanding who you are, understanding, life lessons, life patterns, the patterns of things. Leo is a fixed sign, so it's going to naturally have a difficult time with change. If you're having a difficult time with change, then you're afraid of what happens after that, which is that confusion, which is that chaos feeling, which is like that non-clear, fuzzy, where the hell am I, what the fuck am I doing feeling, You might have said that before for yourself, and you may be saying that now, like, yes, it's exactly what you're going through. But I just feel like it's important to look back at your life and look at all the times that you did change, okay? Because we forget what's gone on in the past sometimes, all the change that we've gone through. We kind of sweep it under the rug and we don't examine it. You need to go back through in your life the times that you did change and look how things turned out, okay? And look how, yes, you did reorient yourself to that new school, that new town, that new job. Anything new that you did, any new sneakers that you bought, any new top that you had, anything new that you had to adjust to it, okay? When I was younger, it's very interesting. I used to hate new things. I used to hate them. I don't know, I hated everything that I was given because I just felt like it was some sort of, again, it was a change thing. I had a difficult time adjusting to it. And then after a while, I would adjust to it and I would fall in love with it. As it would grow, things would grow on me the longer I had them. So this was just me as a younger. I mean, it's not that I didn't appreciate being given things. It's just a lot of times, it's not that I'm difficult to please either. It just had to do with the change. And adjusting. So I feel like that's what you're going through. And I'm taking a little sip of my green tea here because my voice is very weary. Okay, so you also have the rescue card in reverse. Okay, this is a very interesting card. This was coming in from the outside. So I'm going to read it. Okay, so it looks like that. Okay, it says, are you trying to rescue another? Do you believe your love can change someone and miraculously heal this person? Or are you waiting to be rescued? Do you believe that someone will sweep you off your feet and take away all of your troubles? Reverse, the rescue card cautions you against romanticizing your situation right now. Look closely and see reality as it is rather than the illusion of how you'd like it to be. You need to step back and rescue yourself. Trust that spirit will guide you to expose the illusion so that you may discern the difference between truth and fantasy. So yeah, this is sort of this like, to me it's a pretty clear message. It means if you're waiting to be rescued, chances are it's not going to happen. Why? Because you haven't recognized your own divinity yet. And when you recognize your own divinity, you realize that you don't need to be rescued. It's not about asking for help either. It's about living in a fantasy of when, an example of this is, when I marry so-and-so, all my problems will go away. That's just an example, okay? When I find a job, all my financial worries will go away. These are fantasies. This is wanting, to be rescued by something, some situation, or a person. Those are the concepts, okay? So you need to realize that the universe doesn't send someone in to rescue you when you're in that place of you're not in divinity. Only when you're kind of in a place of, I don't know, serious absolute need is it sort of called for, but still I feel like the concept of rescue is more like you seeing yourself as being the victim of life, you seeing yourself as being helpless to make any changes, you seeing yourself as being unable to do anything to better your situation or make your life better. And that is where that's the trap, that's the thing you're getting stuck in. So I would suggest strongly that you start to look for the reliance on yourself, rely on yourself more, okay? I'm not saying you can't have a person in your life that helps you out, okay? And I'm not saying you shouldn't accept help ever, okay? I'm saying that you need to see the divinity in yourself and love yourself and help yourself and not live in that fantasy of when da-da-da-da happens, everything will be fine, okay? Because that's what you're living in right now. Change it to be, I have everything I need and want in this present time. I have abundance, I have love, I have, everything I can want. And everything that you can want, you can say whatever those things are, but you can say, I have it all. You don't need someone to bring it to you, okay? And again, it's not what the world holds for you, it's what you bring to it. So that's the thing. So I am going to look at my deck, which hasn't, you know, been fully completed yet, but has a lot of writing on it and no images. So I'm just going to read it. I'm not going to show you the cards because it's just writing. That's all it is. And see what other messages come through. Some of you are looking for Mrs. Right. Some of you are looking for, or, you know, you're going to meet Mrs. Right. Some of you are in a long-term relationship and are married. Ooh. Okay, so I'm just going to read the cards for what I see. Yeah, so some of you are looking for Mrs. Right. Some of you need to stop worrying about your kids. Some of you have worst case scenario thinking. You may have some planets in Virgo, okay? Leos and Virgos usually, you know, or someone around you that has worst case, you know, case scenario thinking. Thinking that the world, the apocalypse is going to happen tomorrow. You got to have a safety bell, you know, life float, all that stuff. No. Like, you need to stop the worst case scenario thinking and stop worrying about your kids. You need to fix your own relationships. I wrote, your marriage sucks. And it says they will be happy, your kids will be happy when you are. It says if you are single, this is getting ahead of yourself and putting the cart before the horse. So, you know, you may have gotten really excited about someone, but the reality is that it's almost like some of you, maybe you're dating somebody new and you're really, really excited, but you've only gone on one date and you're already thinking marriage and kids and all that. No, you just slow down, take a step back and just be like, okay, I'm going to go with the flow. Some of you are in a sucky marriage. Okay. So that's what I wrote. Unfortunately, that's what I wrote. And that's in the recent past. I feel like some of you are still married and then that's still the case. It's so interesting because you got the Aquarius versus Leo dynamic, which I'm going to read to you and explain to you what this means and so you understand what this is. This is when a guy just wants to have fun and live for the moment. This guy or girl, can be a girl, but mostly it's a guy, does not or is not thinking about the future with you as a person or a person. It is not necessary, you know, this person is not necessarily looking for commitment, okay? This is, if you're a female, you are overanalyzing, okay? And how can you overanalyze somebody? How can you analyze someone who is just looking for a good time or who wants to bang you? That's what I wrote, okay? It says, this relationship will end badly as you don't want to accept reality. You need to cut off all texting and phone calls by blocking him or her. You should not think for one moment he or she wants a commitment or a lasting relationship. The male is not thinking ahead, doing things from the ego. The female is being too selfless or naive. Okay? Now this is in the distant past, but it is showing up here. So some of you are still sleeping with someone who just thinks of it as just sex or just wants to have fun or a good time. They are not in it for commitment. If you have been sleeping with this person for a very long time, then you need to stop all text messaging, all kind of drama conversations, and cut this person off. The difficult thing that fixed signs have, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, is that they don't know how to end things, okay? They don't know how to draw the line. They don't know how to say stop. So you need to really just say stop, okay? Unless you just want to continue to bang this person, and that's totally your call. But I see it as, an issue. Now, the reason why this is I call it the Aquarius versus Leo syndrome is because usually Leo likes to have fun, okay? And Aquarius is more about everyone. It's more thinking about like everyone involved, takes on the mother role, thinks of the universe as like their child, so it's a totally different dynamic. Now, you may have been in a relationship with an Aquarius in the distant past, okay? And it could be a guy or girl. It doesn't matter. But to me, it's about that dynamic where one person really just wants to have fun and the other person doesn't get it. In my mind, the other person doesn't get it. The other person thinks that they're in a relationship when they're not, okay? Hashtag, it's a project, not a relationship. Now, because this is about opposites, it could be any opposite. I want to say it could be a Cancer Capricorn combination. It could be a Taurus Scorpio combination. It could be a Virgo Pisces situation. To me, this is about polar opposites. One person wanting something completely different than the other person. They're not on the same page. They're different, okay? The Leo syndrome, Leo versus Aquarius. Leo wants to have fun. Aquarius is more serious. That's just how it is, okay? So, if you are in that situation where you're just sleeping with someone or there's someone sleeping with you, chances are they don't want to have a long-term partnership. They just want to have sex with you. Now, you did get a very challenging card. And this is an Ascended Master or Older Soul card. This is about fate, with the ultimate challenge being all three factors: time, distance, and journey, okay? Which makes your life very hard. This is with much pain and sacrifice and suffering. It says the light at the end of the tunnel is very faint and very far off, and it says great reward comes with much sacrifice. But it will take time for you to see it, the rewards. So, fate affects us in different ways. Time, okay, with time, things happening at a certain time. With distance, things happening, years and actually physically apart. When you're apart with from someone for a long period of time, that's usually fate, okay? Journey is the same thing. Traveling, like many times, many places, that's fate affecting your life. So those three factors, time, distance, and journey, when things are fated in this kind of way, it's like the ultimate test. It's the ultimate challenge. To me, this is an old soul. So some of you are watching are very old souls, and you've been tested. And to me, this is going through a testing experience, or having kind of a difficult life, had a difficult life because of these things affecting you. Like, you go somewhere and something happens, your car breaks down, and then you drive across the country for a job, and then you lose the job after thing, and then you drive to another country, and you find out that your soulmate's on the other side again. So it's just very challenging. Okay, I feel like this is a very challenging card. But there are great rewards, and you will always end up where you're supposed to be. So I don't want you to worry. Because you have the home card, this to me talks a lot about moving. To me, this is energy that talks about moving, that talks about trying to figure out where your home is, trying to figure out where your roots, where to put down roots, where to settle, where you're supposed to be. I feel like that's all coming up here. I feel like some of you are getting into arguments with someone who you really just can't argue with them, because the person is mentally ill or mentally challenged or is on some kind of pills. Okay, this is a person who has like a borderline personality disorder, highs and lows, anxiety, depression, major clouds hanging over your head. Okay, you definitely need. Okay, you cannot argue with mental illness. You cannot change a person. You cannot change how they're thinking. Okay, so it's like, and you may have this issue where somebody is trying to talk to you and you're not hearing them. It could be, I feel like mostly though, for those of you, I want to say females in relationship to males, I feel like you were trying to talk to your male partner, or there's a male Leo, and you're not able to get through, okay? For some Leo guys, though, this is your wife who has some sort of mental illness, or she has some sort of personality issue, and she's taking pills and she's kind of covering it up, okay? But this is also someone suffering from depression. For those of you who aren't, you know, who don't have major highs and lows, anxiety or bipolar, you're just kind of suffering from kind of a spell of depression, or you're going to be suffering from a little bit of depression. And I feel like mainly that's because you are being challenged. You're being challenged by fate, okay? In the biggest way possible, okay? In the hardest way possible. You're like, oh, great. That's all I need. You know, just more challenges, more tests. Why, you know, but it's just something that you have to deal with. You know, you need to raise your vibration, okay? You need to watch my video on how to raise your vibration. It's on my other channel, A Closet for Francis. I'm experimenting with different kinds of salt, Epsom salt, different fragrances, sea salt, and table salt. I've experienced with all of them. And you're going to have to figure out which one you like best, okay? Also, bath salts I've ordered that have special fragrances that I really like specifically, that are just like bath salts that you can buy. Sea salt I feel like would be best. If you can do natural, that would be best, like pink Himalayan sea salt that you can get at the grocery store. It's very cheap and expensive. You know, take a shower or bath with that stuff would be good for you. You need to clear away anybody in your life that's negative, that's draining you. Sometimes clouds can form over our heads because we're working with a lot of negative people. So you may be working with a very negative group of people, or you may have people around you in your family. Some of you, it's like a female friend, I want to say it's like an aunt, or it's like a cousin, or it's like a sister. Like some of you, it's aunt, cousin, sister thing. Some of it's your mom who's very negative, but mostly it's the aunt, cousin, or sister that's kind of just hanging around. And they're always being negative to you. They're always kind of getting you down. You know, they're always putting you in a bad mood. If you live at home, I want to say, if you say you live with your mom, you need to leave, okay? Because, you know, when you move home, you turn back into the child, your mom sees you as a child, and there's not a lot of respect there. I mean, some situations there are, you know, healthy situations, but for the most part, it's really hard, really challenging to live with your mom once you're past, you know, the age of 22. You know, 22 is like the ripe time to leave, okay? If you're at home still, after that age, it's time to go. That's kind of what I have to say about it. Some of you are very worried about your finances, but you're worried, worst case scenario, okay? It's not actual. Leos have the potential for big money. Everything about Leo is big. Their personality, I always say their hair, finances, you know. So if you're going through a period of time of hardship, know that it's going to be brief, okay? It will be brief. It's only, if your finances are related to situations that have happened, like with fate, that's the reason why it's happening, okay? It's not because you're a bad person. It's not because the universe is out to get you. It's just because you're supposed to be in a certain place at a certain time, a certain location, and it makes it really hard to be in that place of ego of, I want to go to California and go on vacation. Because the universe will do whatever it takes to stop you from going if you're not supposed to be there. So, you know, I want you to stop worrying about your finances. I feel like it's not actually where you're going to be poor. Okay, you have concerns about it, but I don't feel like you're actually in the end going to be poor. I feel like things will turn around. I feel like a lot of you have the hots for someone. Like you have like a healthy, passionate sex drive, and you do have passion for a particular person, or you want to have sex with a particular person. Okay. You need to be careful that you're not sleeping with someone who doesn't have a conscience. Because usually there's a man, I feel like it can be you, Leo, but it can be somebody else too that you're dating, that wants to be single, doesn't want commitment, and will fuck anything that walks, okay? So someone who doesn't have a conscience at all. You need to be careful about that. Now, if you're the person that's sleeping around and you don't have a conscience, then things are going to get really tricky very quickly, and you're going to struggle because the universe, you know, we're here to understand that balance between our animal side and our spiritual side. So if you're acting without really a conscience and you're going around sleeping around, or there's someone around that you're sleeping with, you need to avoid that person, or you need to start making better decisions and think about what you're doing. Some of you are medium. One of you that's watching is a medium, and some of you you're going to have children first before you get married. Okay, this can indicate also unplanned pregnancy. If you are single, this is yet to come to pass, and if you are married, this is your past. Okay, so if you're in a relationship, you need to wear a condom, okay, because you're going to get pregnant. This could be middle to end of May. You got to watch out. I just want to say that. And I think that's a really good place to leave off, okay? So I know this is again, it's a freestyle reading. It kind of can go anywhere, but I feel like I really, talked about the major points in the spreads, and I think that's it. So I'm going to leave off there. Thank you so much for Google Plusing, liking, sharing, subscribing all my videos. I really appreciate it. And I send you guys big hugs like I always do. Big hugs. Big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon. All right, take care. All the best. Bye.